Avoid major fixer-uppers. Avoid major rehabs in today's market. Because when you stumble on one of these, your only exit strategy is to wholesale or wholetail it. You want to buy pretty, low-maintenance, single-family rentals that's going to save you time and money.
You're listening to 5 Hour Real Estate Week, where you'll learn to consistently buy real estate in only 5 hours a week. So if you're ready to invest in real estate, achieve financial freedom, and own the lifestyle you deserve, even with your job, this is the show for you. Now, here's your host, Mike Butler.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 5 Hour Real Estate Week podcast. My name is Mike Butler, and today we're on part 8 of a 9-part series, Investor Strategies for Success in Today's Rapidly Changing Market. Now, today's topic is what to target and creating your offers. But first, before we get into the topic, we cannot ignore this. This is not the topic of today, but we're going to have new strategies in the next few podcasts. Taxes are going up. Get ready to bend over. As you probably know or should know, 87,000 new IRS agents are being hired. They have 43,000 now. That's going to make a total of 130,000 agents. And recently, since this new law was passed, the IRS has purchased 4,500 additional guns. Get this, 5 million rounds of ammo. And did you know what the major duties of an IRS agent are on the IRS website? I'm not going to read them all to you, but listen to this. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. For an IRS agent. Unbelievable. But more on that later in our next episodes. But back to today's topic. What to target and creating your offers. If your goal is to get 20 nice rentals paid for and do it safely in 3 to 5 years with a job, then this section is for you. Rule number 1. Your time is too precious to waste piddle farting around on deals. You must implement my Mike Butler Investor Pledge right now. Raise your right hand, say it to yourself, repeat after me. I'm going to allow you a few seconds to repeat after me. Number 1, I promise to myself and my family. Promise to myself and my family. From this moment forward, to make an offer, even if ridiculous. To make an offer, even if ridiculous, on every property I take time out of my precious day to go view. On every property, I take time out of my precious day to view. Now, that's a game changer there, folks. When I implemented that for my own business, for my own self, guess what? I got a ton of rejection, but every once in a while, somebody said yes. And I tell you, it's made me well over $1 million. Just that little investor pledge right there. So next up, I want you to target good quality, low maintenance, pretty single family houses in great areas. Now, this is for the folks who want 20 nice rentals. Try to avoid right now the BRRRR method. Okay. Avoid major fixer-uppers. Avoid major rehabs in today's market. Because when you stumble on one of these, your only exit strategy is to wholesale it or wholetail it. Don't keep it. And why is that? Because of today's market. It's going to be a time eater. It's going to be a money eater. You're going to have to babysit people. Who knows when that thing's ready to get rent? If you're doing the BRRRR method, who knows what your long-term financing rates and terms are going to be in the next month or 2 or 3? Probably not good with the way things are going. So you got to keep great focus right now and from here on out on using your self-directed Roth IRA. And I can hold your hand and help you get on that, get started in that to make it work. So you want to buy pretty, low-maintenance, single-family rentals that's going to save you time and money. And so there are some must factors. There's things that you got to factor in. And one of them is seasons. Now, right now, we're coming up on around the corner. Kids are back in school. The fall's coming up, Halloween, all this and that. But let me tell you what my best 2 months to buy investment property, best 2 months of the year, and it would happen over and over and over. In fact, it happened a few years before I identified this. Guess what? November and December were the best buying months for me. I got my best deals in November and December, and I bought more good quality rentals, investment property in November and December. Why is that? Well, pretty simple. Most folks slow down for the holidays. So that means there's fewer buyers. For example, let's take Aunt B and Andy Griffith, okay? Is Aunt B going to be looking at going out to buy a home or to move her residence with Opie in school and the holidays are going on? No, she's more focused on getting ready for the holidays and not moving Opie out of school and cooking cakes and baking and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? That happens in the real world. So responsible folk, most folks prefer not to move during November and December. So that's going to make the pool of buyers be significantly lower just because of common sense. Nothing to do with the market, really. Now, on top of that, you've got motivated sellers that are entering the market every single day. What do I mean by that? Well, think about people getting divorced, job relocations, people dying, burnout landlords, divorces, empty nesters, folks that have their parents or family members going to assisted living, or they want to move from the big Brady Bunch house down to a little one-story patio home kind of thing with no steps. All that stuff, they get added into the market every single day. So November and December, just be prepared for that, okay, and make a note of it. Now, if you want to get more than 20 single-family rentals, or you want additional investments, such as mobile home parks, marinas, self-storage, RV parks, apartments, short-term rentals, VRBOs, commercial, and anything else you can think of, this next part is for all investors. Creating your offers. Now, this is very, very powerful, and it is, I would say, probably the most important part of allowing me to turbocharge, jumpstart, to get phenomenal, amazing results, okay, with minimal effort and minimum time. Because I did all this when I had my job too. So this applies for all real estate investments. And before you make your offer, you got to carefully consider all of your exit strategies. I wish I could go through all of them now. I have about 7, maybe a little bit more. But when I started, there was basically 3. So, and before you make your offer, identify and consider all of your exit strategies. Next up, run your numbers. We talked about that before on how to foolproof a deal. Okay, and what you want to focus on is your maximum debt service. Take a worst case scenario. Yeah, you might want short-term rental, VRBO, and all this and that. But what would the worst case scenario be? A long-term rental. So run your numbers on what it would be for a long-term rental and see what your maximum debt service is. And then before you make any offer, identify any and all kind of creative financing opportunities. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously, seller financing. If you can find a seller that'll finance it, wow, that's great. What about jumping a loan? If they have a super low fixed rate loan already in place, maybe you can jump that loan. What about walking the second mortgage if they have one? I've seen so many investors, including real estate agents, say, oh, no, I can't list this house for sale. You're upside down. Oh, I can't buy this thing. They owe too much on it. Okay, well, if you figured out how to walk that second mortgage or HELOCs, wow, you can turn something that everybody else passes on, turn it into a great investment. So 99% of the time, including bank-owned properties, you must do this. Create 3 separate offers. That's right, 3 separate independent offers. No, not on, and you're going to use my simple one-page offer for each one. I've got a fill-in-the-blank form. It's simple. Keep it simple for your seller. You heard that before, KISS method? I love it. Simple one-page offer doesn't scare the bejesus out of them with a 28-page, all this fine print stuff that nobody reads. All right, simple one-page offer. And you're going to create 3 separate offers, okay? Not one page with 3 little choices to check the box. No, offer number 1, offer number 2, offer number 3. So here's number 1 in a nutshell. Fast cash as is, close in 7 days. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, okay? That's what that one's going to be. Offer number 2, some now, some later is what I call it. And that's what offer number 2 fill in the blank form says, is basically it's the little file name is some now, some later. And it usually involves annual payments. Now, number 2 offer is the most rejected offer that I have experienced over the years. But when a seller does respond to your number 2 offer, they're pretty savvy when it comes to tax concerns and their personal financial affairs, because When a seller responds to offer number 2, they're usually concerned about taxes and getting a big chunk of income, okay, that could reduce their retirement, pension, or government benefits. So that's you're dealing with somebody that's pretty sharp there. If they come back with you on offer number 2, talking about annual installments, okay, with annual payments. Now, number 3 is the ultimate, okay, that's long-term seller financing with 0% interest, okay, and that's better than any bank in town, right? So those are your 3 offers, the 3 separate offers. Offer number 1, fast cash as is, close in 7 days. Offer number 2, a little bit now and some later, usually annual payments. And offer number 3 is long-term seller financing with 0% interest and the least amount of money down. Okay. So next up, I try to keep this podcast short and to the point for you. All meat and taters from the get-go is what we say back home. So please make sure that you don't miss the next few podcasts. Here's why. You're going to get the inside scoop from a national expert CPA that's a real estate investor himself on these new taxes and some must-knows for your real estate business that you can implement right now, and also how to structure and a powerful strategy to help you avoid paying any income tax in the future. Now, just for me, I've not paid any income tax since the early 90s when I still had my job. And I've recently got a green light from the IRS. Imagine this, a 3-year deep dive IRS audit. Did I say IRA? I love IRAs. Okay. But anyway, IRS sent me a notice, 3-year deep dive, took 10 months, all kinds of meetings, documents, bank statements, everything I own. Okay. And I came out of it with a green light. No harm, no foul, no extra income tax, no penalties, no interest, blah, blah, blah. How often does that happen? My CPA did a happy Toyota dance. He said, and I asked him, I said, Mike, can I share this with folks? He says, absolutely. Okay. So I've got the system there that is proven and worked and been tested by the IRS, at least the old IRS, not the new IRS. And so you're going to get some time-saving, money-saving tips on how to run your real estate business with next to no help. So if you're getting started in real estate, please go listen to episodes 1 through 10. It's a mini course on how to get started. I need your help, please. Okay. If you like what you're learning, please click the follow button, subscribe, share button, whatever those buttons are, and grab my number 1 bestseller book, Landlording on Autopilot. You can find it on Amazon, and it's got tons of free forms, free investor training videos, and sign up for my free Power Lunch investor trainings. They happen every Tuesday at noon. Just go to MikeButler.com. So to your continued success, I'll see you on the next episode. Mike Butler signing off.
Glad you joined us for another episode of 5-Hour Real Estate Week. The best thing you can do now is put this information to action. To help you get started, Mike created a free resource for you called How to Buy 50 Houses a Year, Even with Your Job. Download it now by going to MikeButler.com/50 houses. And we'll see you on the next episode.